So here is homework number 5, parallel lines cut by a transversal. So number 1, so again, right, just to show you guys, I want to use a different, there we go. Okay, so these are interior angles, right? And these are your guys' exterior. So as you guys can see, you have one interior angle and one exterior. And if you notice, this is where what we talked about in class. If you have a slice of pizza, then X and Y, you would be taking out these exact same pieces. There's that one piece of that slice of pizza, and here's the other one. And as a result, those look to be corresponding angles. So those are corresponding angles. So these first ones, just to identify your guys' angle measurements. Number 2, okay, so no interior angles, right? Because there's nothing inside here, so no interior angles. Both of them are exterior angles. So both of them are exterior, so we have between alternate exterior or same side. But, right, here's the transversal. This X is on a different side of that Y. So as a result, this is going to be alternate, I'm going to shorthand, alternate exterior angles. And just remember, alternate exterior angles are congruent. Number 3, so we have one interior angle, which is Y, and one exterior, and those are the same slices of pizza. So as a result, these are corresponding angles. And remember, you guys, that's just shorthand for angles. 4, okay, so right, this is interior, and both of these angles are in interior. So we have either between alternate interior or same side interior. Well, if you look at this transversal, they are both on the same side. As a result, this is going to be same side interior angles. Number 5. So this is the interior, right, in between the two parallel lines. And notice these two angles are on opposite sides. They're on different sides. So that means that these are going to be alternate interior angles. 6. Okay, so we're dealing with exterior, right? So this is going to be some type of exterior. Okay, so in regard to this transversal, this is on the different side of this angle, right? They're not on the same side of that line. So as a result, these are going to be alternate exterior angles. Okay, number 7. Now, they're trying to confuse you with the amount of lines. But remember, we're dealing with two parallel lines cut by a transversal. So what I'm going to be focusing on is I'm going to be focusing on this line, and this one, this line. So I'm just going to be focusing at the purple, and if you only look at the purple lines, notice this is the interior and these are the exterior. So based off of that, we have two interior angles and they are not on the same side in regards to the transversal. So they're on different sides, and that's when you guys get alternate interior angles. Little tricky, but just identify which lines are necessary for your two lines that are parallel and a transversal. Okay, number 8. So I'm going to be focusing on these two parallel lines and this transversal. Why did I choose this transversal? Because this transversal, both the x angle and the y angle is formed by that transversal, not the other one. Okay, so if you just look at the purple, so here's your interior and here's your guys' exterior. So y and x are both on the exterior range and they're not on the same side. So it's just alternate exterior angles. Okay, moving on. Number 9. So, right, I'm focusing on these two lines and this one. Okay, so if you focus on that, then they are both interior angles and they are on the same side of that transversal. So as a result, same side interior angles. And lastly, number 10, this line is parallel. I'm going to do it to this one. And I'm going to use this transversal. This transversal. Okay, now let's take a look. So only look at the purple, right? Okay, so it looks like we have one interior angle and one exterior angle. And they look to be corresponding. So these are certainly corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. Remember, based off our definitions from today, if it's one interior and one exterior, then it could be a corresponding angle. You just have to verify to make sure. Okay, 5. Or sorry, not 5. What am I talking about? 11. Find the measure of each angle indicated. So, we have our exterior angles, right? And they are not on the same side. So, as a result, we have alternate exterior angles. And based off of the definition in your notes, alternate exterior angles are congruent. So, if this is x, then that means x is equal to 110 degrees because they are congruent. So x has to be 110 degrees because alternate exterior angles are congruent. Okay, let's take a look at 12. Okay, we got interior angles. So there's only 2. Now, these are not on the same side of that transversal, right? Here's a transversal. This is not the same on the same side as that. So as a result, we have alternate interior angles. And based off the definition in your notes, alternate interior angles are congruent. So if this is x, then that means x is going to have to equal to 84 degrees. 13. Interior angles. They are on the same side, so we got same side interior angles. And you guys know from the definition, same side interior angles are supplementary, which means I'm going to denote this as x. So 100 plus x has to equal to 180 because same side interior angles, you guys, are supplementary, which add up to 180. So let's subtract 100 of both sides. X is going to equal to 80 degrees. 14. Interior angles. So these are not on the same side, so that means they're alternate interior. And since they're alternate interior angles are congruent. So if this is x, x is going to equal to 111 degrees. 15. Again, interior angles, but they are not on the same side. Again, so these are alternate interior angles, which are congruent. So if this is x again, x is going to equal to 125 degrees. 16. Okay, we have exterior angles this time, right? Exterior angles, these are not on the same side, right? They're not on the same side of that transversal. As a result, we have alternate exterior angles, and you guys know alternate exterior angles are congruent. So if that's x, then that means x is equal to 47 degrees. 17. Okay, so we have an interior angle and we got an exterior angle. If we drew our pizza slices, this slice looks the same as that one in terms of same shape and size. So we have corresponding angles. And you guys know corresponding angles are congruent, just based off of our notes and our definition. So that means if that's x, x has to equal to 53 degrees. And lastly, this is interior, and they are not on the same side, so alternate interior angles are congruent. So if this is x, x has to be 113 degrees. Okay, now we get into the better stuff. Solving for x. Only x. The next part will be finding the angle measurements. So here we go. Interior is in between the parallel lines, and we have exterior angles. So we have two exterior angles. So since we're dealing with exterior, we have between same side or alternate exterior angles. They're not on the same side of that transversal. So we got alternate exterior angles, which means alternate exterior angles are congruent. So that means the 90 degrees has to equal to 21x plus 6. We solve, so subtract 6 to both sides, we get 84. Divide both sides by 21, so x is going to equal to 4. Okay, 20. So we have an exterior angle, and we have interior. So, and they look to be corresponding, right? Same pizza slice. So that means, based off the definition in your guys' notes, corresponding angles are congruent. So 75 degrees has to equal the 11x minus 2. Solve for x. Divide both sides by 11. X is going to equal to 7. Okay, 21. Okay, these are interior angles. And since they're interior, determine if they're same side or alternate. These are alternate. They're not on the same side compared to this transversal. Different sides. So we have alternate interior angles. So alternate interior angles, they're congruent. So that means they're the same or equal in measure. So 60 equals 8x minus 4. And let's solve. 64 equals 8x. Divide both by 8. X is equal to 8. 22. Again, interior angles. And they are not on the same side of that transversal, so that means they're going to be alternate. So alternate interior angles. So alternate interior angles are congruent. So x plus 139 is equal to 132. Subtract 139 from both, and you guys should have gotten x is equal to negative 7. 23. Okay, we have exterior angles, right? Exterior angles, they are not on the same side of this transversal. So we got alternate exterior angles, and you guys know alternate exterior angles, those are congruent. So that means negative 1 plus 14x has to equal to 12x plus 17. Let's get variables on one side, so I'm going to choose them to be on the left-hand side. Add 1 to both sides, 2x equals 18, divide both by 2. X is going to equal to 9. Okay, Lastly, 24, we have an interior angle and an exterior angle. So, as a result, these look to be corresponding, right? These look to be the same pizza slices. So, that means they're congruent. Corresponding angles are congruent. So that means 23x minus 5 is equal to 21x plus 5. I'm going to get my variables on the left-hand side, so subtract 21x to both sides, add 5 to both sides, divide both sides by 2. So x is going to equal to 5. Okay, last 4. Okay, so we are trying to find the measures of the angles. So in order to do this, you have to solve for x. So this is interior angles, and these are on the same side. So that means we have same side interior angles. Same side interior angles. So same side interior angles are supplementary, which means they add up to 180. So x plus 96 plus x plus 96 is equal to 180. We solve, so x plus x is 2x, 96 plus 96 is 192. Subtract 192 to both sides. Divide both sides by 2, so x is equal to negative 6. So plug this back into the angles so you can find your angle measurement. So if we plug in negative 6 for this one, so there's 2 of them. So if you guys plug in negative 6 into both, we get 90 degrees and 90 degrees. And that makes sense because since we already know same side interior angles are supplementary, 90 plus 90 is equal to 180, which means those are supplementary, which means we seem to be good. 26, again, interior angles, they are on the same side of the transversal, which means we have same side interior angles. So since they're same side interior angles, based off the definition in your guys' notes, they are supplementary, which means they add up to 180. So 20x plus 5 plus 24x minus 1 is equal to 180. Combine like terms, so 20x plus 24x is 44x, and then 5 plus negative 1 is plus 4. Subtract 4 to both sides. Divide both sides by 44. And we get x is equal to 4. Plug that into the original, or into both angles. So 20 times 4 plus 5, 24 times 4 minus 1. And you should have gotten 85 degrees and 95 degrees. And does that check off? Yes, because same side interior angles are supplementary, which means 85 plus 95 better equal to 180, and it does. So, good. 27, we have an interior angle and an exterior angle, and they look to be the same pizza slice, so you have corresponding angles. And you guys know corresponding angles, they are congruent, so that means 6x is equal to 5x plus 10. Let's get variables on the left-hand side, so x is equal to 10. X equals 10, plug it back into the original angles. So 6 times 10, 5 times 10 plus 10. 60 degrees, 60 degrees. Does that make sense? Yes, it does, because you guys know corresponding angles based off the definition in the notes are congruent, which means they have the same measure. And lastly, 28. These are both interior and they are on the same side. So same side interior angles. So that means same side interior angles, they add up to, or they are supplementary, which means both of these angles better add up to being 180. X plus x is 2x, 109 plus 89 is 198. Subtract 198 to both sides. And we get 2x is equal to negative 18. Divide both sides by 2. X is equal to negative 9. Plug that into the original so that we can find our angle measurements. Negative 9 plus 109, negative 9 plus 89. So we should get 100 degrees and 80 degrees. That looks to be good because, again, same side interior angles, they are supplementary, which means those angle measurements better add up to 180. So that was your guys' homework. Let me know if you guys have questions, and good luck, okay? Peace.